Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we are going to be learning some basic steel production and potentially getting that set up as well as getting all of our copper and concrete needs dealt with. Welcome back. Last time I said I was going to wait around a little bit in between episodes to get enough rotors and modular frames to build the basic steel production, and I did do just that. It wasn't really that bad. I only had to craft maybe like 20 rotors by hand. Not even that bad. So let's get started by getting basic steel production.
Milestone reached. Coal and iron can be combined in the foundry to start steel production. Project part number 2, the versatile framework, can only be created via automation, not at a crafting bench. Delivering these to the space elevator is essential if we are going to complete phase 2 of project assembly and save the day. Fix It and humanity is relying on you.
Yeah, we get it. Okay, so that second thing, I'm going to actually just go over here to this assembler that I plugged in by hand, and we're going to go take a look at this thing. Versatile framework, so that takes 2.5 modular frames a minute and 12 steel beams, also known as 30 per minute, and that will make versatile frameworks, and we need about 1,000 of those. And you know, just thinking about this now, we're also going to need 1,000 smart plates. That's going to take a long time, isn't it? 2 reinforced plates and 2 rotors per minute. We have that. It might be a good idea to just get an assembler going on smart plating and then just run a conveyor straight into the space elevator to get that built up, because that's going to take a long time. You know what? That's probably a good idea. That is going to bite into a little bit of our resource production because we're not making rotors very quickly. I think it's only 4 a minute, so we're going to be dropping that down to 2. That's not super great, but we'll be dropping our smart plates down to 5 per minute, which it's still pretty good. It's better than 1 assembler, so I'll take it. Actually, no, I think that is exactly 1 assembler. Okay, anyways, that's besides the point. I think that will be one of the first things that we end up doing is just get smart plates going. And as you can see, the copper factory is in the way of that because the inputs for the space elevator are right here. Speaking of which, hold on. Can I color this? Oh, I can. Okay, we're doing it. There we go. That's much nicer. But anyways, we got the inputs here, so we're going to have to run it kind of through the copper area, or we just redo the copper area, which I think is what I'm actually going to end up doing, because we need to get copper foils and cables anyways, because currently we're only doing wires and just straight up ingots. That's not really super useful, right? So I think that'll be the first thing we do. But to actually build that, we are going to need a nice place to put it, and what better place to put it than on a platform hovering over this kind of crevice right here. What is that? Okay, hold on, I got distracted. There's something down here. Oh! There's a cave. I kind of gotta go down it, surely. Ooh, what's this? That looks like something you could mine. Okay, well. Oh? What was that? There's like birds down here. Okay, I'm already liking this. This is cool. Okay, we got one of those things. Let's just head over here, see if there's anything. Oh, what is that? Oh. Oh. I think it's stuck. Yep, definitely stuck. Okay, but that was a stinger. Oh.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Initial data suggests these are predators, but notably they do not have a traditional mouth or eyes. There are, however, numerous cavities on their head which could fulfill a similar function. Research the remains in the MAM to establish classification and potential countermeasures.
Or I'll just beat it with my stone. Maybe there's more than one. Ow. Oh, there's a lot. They're quick, too. Ooh, okay. Gotta be careful of these guys, I guess. Man, I'm just trying to look around your little cave. It's not that deep. Jeez. Okay, well. Looks to be a path up there, but also let's go grab this Sommer sloop, I think. Yep. I don't actually know what to do with these. But, I mean, I'll just grab them and put them in a chest for now until I figure that out. Doesn't look to be a whole lot in here. I probably could cut these up from... Oh, wait a minute. What happens if I cut this? Can I cut these? No. Can I cut the mushrooms down? Yes. And I get mycelia. Oh, that's new.
The fruit of this fungus-like flora does not seem to show much potential for use. However, its mycelial network is worth further investigation. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
Okay, so it appears that it isn't useful, but it also might be, so that's cool. I may as well grab one more, and then we'll call that good for there. And it does look like I cannot cut down those green bulbous looking thingies, so we'll have to stop there. And looks like you can just pick them as well. Interesting, okay. I don't know what that'll do for me, but at least we have it, I guess. All right, let's head up here. Gotta keep a lookout. There might be something useful. Is this just another exit? It might be. Yep, this is just another exit. Okay. I also have not been over on this side, and it looks like we got some more of these guys. And they lasted about as long as you'd expect. Ooh, but it looks like we got some more stuff up here. Is this iron? Oh, wait. Is this more iron up here? Oh, we got more iron. I didn't even know this was here. Wait, this is huge. I can increase rotor production. I'm so tempted. I might just do that. Impure. Oof. I bet this is also impure, but to be fair, 1-to-1 on rotor, so we could just make like 8 rotors a minute over here, just for fun. I think that's gotta be worth doing, right? Because it's pretty close as well. Ooh, and I can get this power slug that's been sitting up here for like 4 episodes. Yes, I've seen it. I'm going to get it. Nope, this is a completely different one. That was the one that I keep looking at. Okay, well, I'll grab this anyway. And it looks like there's more stuff over there. Okay, man, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm totally going to go over there and look what that is, because that might be really useful. It looks like more iron. Is that 3, maybe 4 veins? Actually huge. Oh, yeah, we got more iron over here. Impure. Probably just a bunch of impure over here. There's a lot, though. There's 4. That is still pretty good, so let's go ahead and put some markers over here to indicate that those are here. Looks like my freighter came back, and let's just head over here. I thought I saw something, but I might just be insane. Looks like I am insane. Okay, there's not much else over here. We got another, I think this is just limestone sitting in the wall. Yep. I mean, I'm going to look around, right? I'm over here now. So we got, oh, let's also get those marked. And, oh, that looks like a new biome. I'm not going to go over there just yet. Also, there's a Mercer sphere up there. I don't think I can get up there without building, and I don't even know what they do yet, so... Ooh, hello, we found a copper. And another normal copper vein. So if we ever need more copper, which we actually probably will, right? Because I'm probably going to turn all of the copper that I have over there into wires and cables. So we don't have a way to get foil yet, so I could probably turn that into foil. Ooh, and we got more limestone over here. A normal limestone vein, and I'm totally using this. Okay, so glad I went over here. There is a lot of stuff. I might actually turn this into concrete, because that was another thing we needed to upgrade, was concrete, because we don't have a whole lot of it. Alright, now you may be thinking I'm wasting time, but I'm actually just stalling for time, so we end up with more rotors and reinforced plates, so I can use them to build faster. Yeah, also, we do have a whole bunch of stuff to research, so I might just go do that after I grab this power slug that I was talking about earlier. We also have a nice view of our factory from up here. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do some research because we did not do that last time. Oh, well, we got Stinger, so let's do that.
The remains researched belong to an organism with 8 jointed legs, similar to the legs of arachnids but with non-standard distribution and function. Because its attacks focus on stabbing prey with the ends of their legs, which resemble insectoid stingers, they have been dubbed stingers. Stinger remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving Pioneer safety during exploration.
Okay, so pretty standard alien megafauna stuff. Okay, we have not found the hatcher yet, and I don't even know where that would be, so we can't get to down here just yet. Actually, no, we literally can. I already have this. Okay, whatever. We have not been able to find any SAM. No more Caterium. We do have the mycelia, so let's go ahead and research this.
The mycelial networks of these fungi possess unusually resilient hyphae, which show potential for making a strong but lightweight natural fabric.
Oh.
Additionally, it has similar medicinal and pest control applications to mycelia on Earth.
Interesting. Okay, so we can make fabric, and it's just 100 biomatter, and I unfortunately put it all into making the actual, you know, solid stuff, so I'm gonna have to go pick some more leaves and wood to get that, but, you know, I do have a chainsaw. And you can turn 1 mycelia into 10 biomass. Wow, I did not know that. If I knew that, I would have just gone to that cave and filled the entire thing up. That's crazy. We should have enough for this. Yes, we do. Let's get the fabric. Oh, wow. And so we got synthetic polyester fabric, which requires polymer resin. Okay, can't do that yet. We can make a gas mask. Oh, wait, that's actually really nice. Very tempting. Okay, we also have +1 hand equipment slot. That's pretty nice. And we can also make a parachute, which I could end up doing, but I think I'm just going to put the mycelia away for now, and we will deal with that later. We also did find our purple power slug, so if we go ahead and make some copper foil and get some more modular frames, we can research that, which would be a good idea. Have not found new quartz and not anything new on the silver front, so you know what? I'm actually going to go do that. Components required. Let's get this research.
Research completed. Purple power slugs seem to be near the end of their life cycle and have a significant amount of potential energy stored. It is a good thing Fix-It does not waste. Purple power slugs can now be processed into power shards.
Cool. And I think that was actually, what was it, 1 to 5? Wow, okay, so those purple ones are pretty good. But also, I'm not sure what this actually... Oh, synthetic power shards. Oh, wait, can you actually, like, do those? Interesting. But it requires 10 plus 10 Time crystal. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't have that. And quartz crystals. That's pretty far away. Okay, yeah, we're not going to be dealing with that. Let's just forget we ever saw that. Let's also go ahead and turn all the power slugs that we do have into the power crystals, though. Or power shards, whatever. Slugs to shards. And there we go. Now we have a whole bunch of these. We have 8 total. That is pretty good, I think. Now, of course, I could try to go overclock something, but I don't know if that is going to be worth it. If there was a thing that would be worth it, I bet it would be the limestone drill, at least right now. I would assume you can take them out, so I don't think I'm going to be wasting this, but having some additional limestone and concrete would be kind of nice, considering that it is required to build our platform, which is what we're going to do next. Let's expand the platform so we can actually redo the copper. That's what we're going to do first. Actually, maybe we should... Okay, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's 3 different things I need to do. I just need to figure out which one I want to do first, so I'm not wasting a bunch of time. Okay, you know what? Here's the thing that we're going to do first. We are going to go get smart plates being constructed. It's going to eat heavily into our rotor supply. We'll only be making 2 per second over here. And if I'm actually thinking about this, I might just make 2 assemblers and just use all of the rotors over here. Yeah, I probably should have done this last time because this is probably going to take actual forever. So yeah, let's get doing that. Luckily we do have some rotors here, 50 built up, so we can build a couple machines, but not a whole lot. So I think that's what we're gonna do next after this is upgrade our rotors. And by upgrade, I mean we're going to go over to those 2 impure iron veins that I found over there and build them over there. And then we can upgrade our copper and limestone. Okay, now let's try to find a nice place to put this that isn't going to be like super in the way. Honestly, let's just do like this. And like that. And that will be perfectly fine. Now we are going to have to figure out a way to split this because it is going to be a little weird, but I'm sure we can manage. Okay, so these are modular frames. We don't need these. This is rods. We don't need those. We do need to figure out a way to get our smart plates out of here. So now let's just think about this. That takes 3 per minute. We're making 2 total, right? Yes. And these make 5 per minute. So we're making 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So we're only going to be making 3 of these per minute for our storages and 0 rotors. But that is okay. We do have a pretty big buffer at the moment. Yeah, nearly 450. So I think that'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, let's get to work. And then we'll see if this actually works. Reinforced plate, reinforced plate. Okay, there we go. We are actually getting smart plating. Let's go ahead and build a little bit more foundation so I'm not going to be walking over everything. Let's also go ahead and clear out some foliage in the way. There we go. That is a much nicer platform. And we are going to have to probably go over the copper factory, or I could just redo it now. I mean, to be fair, we are making smart plates, and they do have an inventory size of 100, so I don't really have to worry about it too much. So, you know what? Let's just do the copper factory upgrade now. So let's keep expanding this way. You know, also, I probably should figure out a way to use this. Can I use this for... Oh, you right-click. Okay, wait. I want this to be foundation, all the foundations. And this one looks like you can't do a custom for... You can't set custom as a preset, which is a bit interesting. Oh, well, that's too bad. But anyways, at least we now can build the foundations that, you know, are actually painted correctly. So I don't have to go around and paint them all myself, which I will have to retroactively go do for this entire patch here, so... I also went ahead and added a little ramp down here in case we do need to access down here for some reason. Oh, that's what Zoop mode does. It makes you build in straight lines like this? Oh, wait a minute. You can only do 10 at a time, looks like. Sick. That's going to make it so much quicker. There we go. That is a much larger platform. Plenty of space to work with to get our copper going. So, let's start by tearing the entire thing down and redoing it. Now, hang on just a minute. I just had an idea. I'm going to try the overclocking on this copper vein, right? Because I don't want to have to go all the way over to La La Land, all the way over there to get some more copper. So, let's see what happens if I put in some of these things and how much it boosts the output. Because if I can get another 30 out of just one of these for a marginally more power, I think that'll be worth it, because then I can do one for wires, one for cables, one for foil. and we will have everything we need. Now, of course, I don't know how much foil I'm actually going to need because I'm not really doing any more piping at the moment, but, you know, it might be nice. So let's see. If I do this, what if I do 90 per minute? But what's the power draw now? 8.5? You know, honestly, I think that's worth it. It would be cheaper on power to go all the way over there and just mine the other one, but since it's right here, that would be enough to get basically everything for the copper components. And then we can use the advanced belts and split it 3 ways into 3 furnaces, and it will be perfect. Okay, let's do that actually. And I guess we can start over here. And of course I built them all backwards, that's typical. Okay, now we do need to remember to use Mark II for this because it is going to be pretty quick. All right, so here's our copper output right here. So let's figure out, again, we are going to make the 3 copper components. Okay, so this is 1 to 2, so this takes only 15 ingots, so we need 2 for the wires. We're also going to need 2 for the cables because it is 2 to 1. And then for the foil, this thing, it looks to take around 20 ingots per minute, so we'll be making 1.5 on this. Oof. Now hang on a minute. If we get this tuned perfectly, we might be able to simply do 30, 30, 20. So we would need to be making 80 a minute, and then it would be perfect. I mean, of course, we would be making less foil per minute, but to be fair, I'm not really using foil a whole lot, so I think that'd actually be the best option. So let's see if I can get this down to 80. Okay, so I can't do 80 exactly, but I can do 80.4, so we will just have 0.4 over, and that only takes 7.4 megawatts, which is actually pretty good. Okay, so let's see. We need 2, 2, and 1. One assembler is going to be a lot smaller than everything else, so we can put that one over here, and then we can put the other parts over here. Okay, and I think I'm going to do the first one is going to get turned into the cables, because it's the most awkward one. All right, there is our cables done. Of course, we're going to plug everything in, but we'll do that all last. Ooh. Okay, well, factory has been built, but I did just have a thought here. We are going to be making 80, and it's going to be splitting perfectly 3 ways, which is going to mean we are going to eventually have a backfill on the foil. I don't think that's going to be a problem, though, but I mean, I guess we'll find out. Also, I have a bunch of random ingots in my inventory. I'm dumping them in here. Well, wait a minute. What am I doing? What am I doing? I have overclocks. Let's use them. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Yep, you're going back up to 90. And I'm just going to overclock the foil factory. Bruh. Okay, well that makes way more sense. Okay, so we want this to be making 15 a minute. There we go. So 30 copper a minute. That'll be making 90. That'll be making 30. That'll be making 15. That is now upgraded. Also, I did manage to get everything into a nice little line of storages so I can access them all right here. Much better. Very nice. Let's go plug this all in because power still kind of an issue. I have a feeling that those Caterium wires might give us better power poles, which would be really nice, because, man, I need those. I just had an idea. I'm pretty sure in the Tier 2 milestone area, or no, this is Tier 4 now. Jeez, okay, the Tier 4, there was expanded power infrastructure, power storage. Wow. Okay, so we get a battery, power tower, help spans power lines across greater distances, additional power connector at the bottom to connect to other power poles, and then we can put power platforms on there. Okay, unfortunately, I do not have whatever that is, or that, so that's not going to work out. But also, advanced steel production, is this just better stuff for steel, or is this like... Whoa, hold on. Oh dear, there's a better miner right here, and it only requires a stupid amount of everything and these steel pipes that I haven't built yet. Ooh, there's a better oh my, okay, stop looking. Nope, let's just get everything else going first. We'll deal with that later. Maybe we'll set up steel after the copper and limestone is fixed. Okay, let's focus on this first though. Let's plug all this in, that was what I was doing. All right, and it looks like we have our first components coming in. Let's take a look. Are the furnaces cooking? No, because I forgot to set the recipe. Copper ingots are coming in, and now we should be making all of these components. So we can go ahead and get rid of the rest of this over here. We no longer need you. And there we go. That is a much nicer building area. We also have all these wires here that I'm just going to take, and we'll go put them into proper wire storage now that we actually have a proper place to put all those. All right, and here we have our cables, wires, and foil being produced. Why is that blue? Oh, it's because it's overclocked. Let's go see how many smart plates we have, and then we can go ahead and plug those in. It looks like they're still running. Oh, that one stopped. I think it's because rotors are being weird, or it's full. Rotors are being weird. Okay, well, you know what? That is fine. I think now it'll be making at the perfect ratio, which means we can get everything going. Okay, let's get these merged together and sent to the space elevator. And boom, smart plates are now plugged in to the space elevator, and we will be getting that completed automatically over time. Okay, so there's the smart plates. Now, I think next order of business, let's go ahead and upgrade our concrete, because we need more. And I'm going to be actually doing this upgrade by going over to this other limestone deposit over here and mining this out as well, and that'll be giving us a solid 60 per minute, which we've got overclocks to increase, which actually might be worth it. Yep, and it is 3-to-1, and it makes 15 per minute, so it needs 45 limestone a minute, so I believe one overclock should be able to get us with the 45. Now, this is going to take a little bit more power, but I think we're pretty good on power, and if not, I can just run another water pipe over there. I'm going to have to end up doing that anyway, but we can only build 2 more, but we do have overclocks, so I could overclock the miner, but then we would need better conveyors, which we would need steel production for, so I think I'll use that extra coal we're making, or maybe go find another vein and then make steel that way. Oh, I do realize, yeah, power's not going to be super great. We might have to find another coal vein to use. Oof. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this going over to here. I'm just going to use a long conveyor that goes underneath the ground, and we add one more overclock to this guy. There we go. Yeah, I knew that would happen. I just got to reconnect the power line that goes out to the coal area. Hopefully, I should just be able to turn this back on, no problem, but we'll see about that. I would assume that I can just hit these guys, right? Because it's all one connected grid. Thank goodness for that. I'm definitely leaving those there forever. That is just a little piece of metal that I left on the ground. There's nothing to be worried about there. And we can put our storage container right here, and we will have to use a Mark II conveyor to actually get everything out the correct speed. But luckily, it's pretty... Oh, really? Fine, I'll move the power line. Alright, and you know what? Since we can't get the custom color thing to actually work for everything, I think I'm just going to put everything on swatch 2. Actually, you know what? Let's try this. How's this one looking? Oh, wait a minute. I like that much better. A little bit of red and yellow in between. Now we're talking. Okay, so that looks a little bit... You know what? I'm actually going to do that. That's where we're building the entire base out of. Everything. Except for foundations and pipes. We want pipes to be different. I'm probably going to set... You know what? Let's set this to pipes for now. And there we go. Now we have an entire base. Okay. Alright, so now that is overclocked. That'll be making 45. The other one will be making 45. Going up into the assemblers, and we'll be getting a grand total of 30 concrete per minute, which is quite nice. We've got copper, we've got concrete, assuming this is working. It looks like it is. Yep, there we go. Copper, concrete, we got smart plates going, albeit slowly. What we don't have is rotors anymore, and we're probably running out. Well, we have about 50. So I think, let's think here. We don't have plates. We do have rods. So I don't really need to worry about rods anymore. We do have plates. I could turn one of these into another rotor factory, or I could start working on steel production. Wait, I can actually do that already. Hold on. Was that a new production? Yes, the foundry. Okay, let's go grab some modular frames and build one just to see what it looks like and how it works. Okay, so it's pretty big. Looking pretty good. Nice. And we make steel ingots. Alright, so let's just set it to this. It takes 45 coal per minute and 45 iron ore per minute, and then makes 45 steel per minute. Interesting. Now let's just try this out. Could I get this to 60? I could, so then it would be 60, 60, and 60, which would be 4 a minute. Okay. Okay, you know what? Before we even consider doing any of this, let's find another coal vein, because we do not have enough over at Powerland. That is only making enough for 8. We have, I think, 30 left over, and this will need 45, so... I could also underclock them, but whatever. Actually, that might save a bunch of power. I don't care. You know what? Let's go find coal. I think there was some that way. Okay, so that's one I've been to, and now it was that way. Oof, that's pretty far. Okay, well, let's... Also 1,300 that way, but let's go check out this one. I also have not been into this cave. Ooh, hello. Oh, let's not go that way. That's like a sheer drop into nothing. Okay, good to know. Let's not do that. Can I find a way to get up here? Okay, made it up here. And there it is. Oh dear. Looks like we got a lot of stuff over here. Oh, this isn't even it. This is iron. Ooh, a couple normal iron veins over here. Oh, I know what we're mining. And we got a limestone. Normal limestone too? Oh man, I chose the wrong place to make concrete. There we go. Huh. Okay, so it looks like... Is this like a river? There's no water though. Oh, there's some water here. Oh, and there's a Mercer sphere inside. Let's grab it. Again, still don't know what these do. At least we have it. Oh.
The effigy has no song, only echoes, but it is part of a river. Why does the effigy avoid the windows?
Attention. Your brain's operations are outside typical parameters. Time spent daydreaming will be deducted from your sustenance budget.
Interesting. Uh-huh. Well, I'm sure that's completely fine and there's nothing to worry about. I also think this is the edge of the map. Yup. Okay, don't go that way. But also, we do have a little bit of water over here. Now, I don't think it's deep enough. It actually might be. Hold on. Oh, yep, it is deep enough. Okay, so you could come over here to get coal power if you wanted to. Of course, I'd have to find the coal vein. Is it up on the cliff? It might be up on the cliff. It's up on the cliff. Okay. Now, of course, I don't know how to actually get up to there, so we're going to build a ramp. There's got to be a path, surely. Ooh! Wait, sulfur. Wait, this has got to be a sulfur vein. Yes, impure sulfur. Okay, we don't really have a super useful use for it right now. Actually, we don't have any, but we're definitely marking it. Sulfur. There we go. Okay, this is a huge find. And you know what? We're kind of in new area, so let's scan for Caterium. There's got to be some somewhere. Am I close? No. No, I'm not. Okay. That way? Isn't that towards my coal vein? We might have to make an adventure over there to get some, because that might be a really nice thing to have. Okay, anyways, let's stop wasting time. I've literally just run around in circles. Let's get up to the coal vein. Okay, we got an acid spitter, and here's our coal vein, and it is pure. Okay, that is to be expected. Let's get rid of this acid spitter, or whatever this thing was called. And you know what? It might just be worth building the entire factory up here, because it is kind of flat. Oh, and that's where we stole the yellow power slug from down there. I bet that critter is still down there, and there looks to be... Oh, there's more than one limestone thing down there. There's two more. Okay, maybe that should be my concrete area. Okay, whatever. I already built one. It's fine. Let's just go ahead and get a little bit of area cleared out over here, and we can start building our steel factory. Nothing like a little 4x5 platform to brighten up the day, all right? Also, I'm going to move this ramp because this is kind of annoying. This would be the part where I get a hypertube, but I don't have that research yet, and I believe it requires steel, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, that looks a little weird, but I don't care. These were normal iron veins, right? So that'll be making 120. So we do 120 from the pure coal vein, 120 from 2 of these iron veins. That sounds like a perfect ratio to me. We just need to overclock the foundries a little bit. That'll be pretty power intensive, but it would be perfect. So we're doing it. Oh, don't fall off. Okay. Is that a fall off? Or is that like there's a thing down there? It looks to be just like there's a thing down there, but I don't think I can get back out. And I'm not going to risk that. So I'll just do something like that, and that'll make it easier. Okay, let's leave this area and get back to our base, which is over there. You know, I don't think I've actually been over here. Anything cool? There's Caterium in the wall. Oh, and that's one of the big guys. Maybe try not to die in the process. Oh, okay. Did he just fall off a cliff? You know, that works for me. I'll claim my Caterium now. That thing nearly killed me. First, let's start by getting the iron going. And I am probably going to end up running a Mark 1 or Mark 2 conveyor, so I'm probably going to have to go back and get some more reinforced plates, because I didn't bring a whole lot, but let's just get everything set up and organized, so then I know that everything will actually work. Yep, and this is mine 60, that's 120. And that's 120 coal, and it is an even amount, so we should just be able to run that all the way up this ramp here, which actually I am going to build a second one right next to it, so we can run the conveyor up it. I think you can do that. Ooh, actually, let's find out. Oh, no, you cannot. We'll just have to run a little conveyor and then the conveyor lift, and we'll lift it up here. I also could just bring the coal down. You know, that seems like the easier option. All right, and then we're running this off of Mark II conveyors, because this is 120 coal, which I probably should not be running against, but here I am. Yep, 120 coal per minute. Of course, we are going to need a power line, so let's just hook that up here. And we'll deal with power last. Let's just get everything set up and going first. And this is going to have to go into the conveyor lowerer, but that's fine. So I'm going to have to go grab a bunch of reinforced plates. I might be able to go ahead and just put in everything else, though. And I don't think I'm going to really worry about putting this on foundations because it's pretty flat over here anyway. You know what? Maybe I will. 4 smelters in. That is a grand total of 120 iron. Now, let's see here. That is going to go into the foundries with the coal. So let's see here. We're going to do 60, so let's get these merged together. All right, and then we should just be able to connect these up to the foundries with our normal conveyors, and then we will run the coal over here and split it into these two like that. Okay, let's place the power pole, set that to steel, set this to steel, and that'll be making a pretty solid 120 steel per minute, which we will be making stuff over here. Okay, now let's see if we can actually get that overclock to work. We want 60. I can't enter 60. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can actually enter numbers nicely. Good. And there we go. 60 steel per minute, 60 steel per minute, 120 total, which is pretty good. How much power do these take, though? I'm going to assume like 20. Okay, well, there we go. Let's go ahead and grab some reinforced plates, get the coal over here, and plug everything in. Oh yeah, this is very expensive on the reinforced plates. Luckily, we have a factory of those, and we had like, I don't know, like 600-700, so I don't feel too bad. Alright, let's see. Now we have to run this over to here. Of course, we need to do the splitter thing, and I think we should be able to do the old vertical integration thing that I did last time. Now, we actually don't need to use the tier 2 ones for this because it's only 60, so we should just be able to do something like this, like we did over in the coal-powered plant, and we put a splitter on this guy. Alright, that should be all connected. Let's go turn this on. I need to run power lines. And there we have it, 120 coal per minute riding on this belt, which I could totally just ride all the way down, which I'm doing. And there we go. Coal now should be arriving, and we should be getting our first pieces of steel. Oh, this uses iron ore. I'm an idiot. No one saw anything. Nothing ever happened. I don't know what you're talking about. But since I have all this iron in my inventory, in you go. In you go. And that will now be our first pieces of steel. Man, maybe I should pay attention. That would be great. Awesome. Now, I would assume we want to just instantaneously go craft this into the frame thingies, which I bet is an assembler recipe, if I had to guess. Yep, versatile framework. Ugh. Okay, we need modular frames over here? You know what? I think it's time for the longest conveyor belt ever. I'm going to merge these. Wait, do these mergers even work? Okay, so the mergers themselves don't actually have a throughput limit. Good. So I'm going to merge these onto a very long Mark II conveyor, and we're going to run all the steel back to the base. This is probably a terrible idea, but I don't care. But anyways, we have our first piece of steel. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and run this belt. This is going to be super long. I think eventually you get some form of transportation for items. I know you can do the tractor, and I think there's trains. I'm not sure on that, though. So eventually we'll probably switch to one of those, which makes way more sense. But for now, we don't have that, so we're going to just waste 100 million reinforced plates and run it like this. All right, and that is the steel conveyor belt. This is super long, and I think I might just go ride the whole thing just for fun, just to show how long it is. But our modular frames are being produced right here. Our steel's going to be right there, so now we just need to make the bridge component thingies, or whatever those are. So I'm actually going to tear that part out, and we're going to get our modular frames, which do not need to be on a very high-tier conveyor. And we'll run this over to here, and then we can set up the rebar frame, whatever factory, right over there. Now, for fun, I'm just going to go ahead and put a storage container down over here, just because we have a lot of steel. I'm kind of curious to see how much we get. All right, and there we go. That'll start filling up with steel, and of course, we will get our resources out from here, which also means I can follow the line and watch the steel move at the same time, which would be pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and get everything get mixed together here. Don't forget to have a Fix-It protein bar, now with 100% more natural ingredients. Shut up! It makes 5 per minute, so this is actually faster than the smart plates, which is fine, but also it said 2.5 of modular frames a minute, and I'm pretty sure this only makes 2. Indeed. And that is a perfect ratio, so we will only be making, I believe, 4 per minute, which is the exact speed this is going. We're just going to be starting at a quarter of the total amount, because by the time we have this done, we'll probably have 250 smart plates. That's fine. We also need 30 steel beams a minute, which is actually more like 24. Okay, so with a constructor, I assume that's where you make steel beams. Indeed it is, and this takes 60 per minute and makes 15. I'm just going to run 2 of these and it'll get backfilled. All right, and that looks to be actually fully operational already. Steel beams are being produced. I am just going to go grab one off the belt if I can. Did that do anything for me? No. Figured not, but it was worth a try. Maybe the computer would talk to me or something. I don't know. But also, modular frames going in, reinforced steel beams going in. We are now making versatile frameworks, assuming we have enough steel beams, which we currently don't. It's 30 per minute. This is actually making 30 per minute. So this is actually the perfect amount of steel. So, wow. That's actually all of our steel. That's crazy work. Okay, well, there we go. Now all we have to do is run this into the space elevator, and I am going to try to run it exactly parallel to this conveyor. And plug that one in, and now I have to go around this power pole here, because, oh, no, I don't. And then plug that one in. Okay, so there we go. Now everything should be plugged in. We should be getting our, I actually don't even know what those are. What even are these? Are these like reinforced versatile framework? That's what they are. There we go. Versatile frameworks are going in. We now have smart plates going in at the exact same rate, so the smart plates will be done first. And now we just have to figure out what that other thing is, and then we can get the space elevator phase 2 completed. Now I'm going to assume that this is something that I will research upon advanced steel construction. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Yep, automated wiring. Okay, but for that we're going to need some steel beams, which we do not have enough steel currently being produced. Once we run out of modular frames, we will probably have a tiny little bit extra, but for now, that is not the case. Alright, well, I think the next thing we're going to do is probably get all of the Tier 4 research done, probably starting with advanced steel production so we can get those advanced wirings going in, and it looks to be that those are going to be extremely expensive because we only need 100. So we probably will have to go out and find some new material or get a whole bunch more stuff or something. I'm not really sure. But I think we're going to have to leave that for next episode. It has been a pretty long while, and we do have our frameworks being produced for phase 2. So last thing we're going to do this episode is I'm going to go follow the steel conveyor all the way back to my base just to show how long it is. All right, well, here we go. And we have arrived, and we are at a pretty solid 535 steel. That looks to be the equalized amount, which is good. That's how long it took me to actually produce everything. And of course, the modular frames, once they run out, we will start building up steel ingots in which we can use to make various other things, such as these wiring things, assuming they actually take steel. I'm not actually sure how to build those yet because I don't have them. And that is the first thing that we'll be doing in the next episode, unlocking the advanced wiring thingies so we can start making those and upgrading our space elevator to phase 2. Goodbye.